Ladies and gentlemen, this School of Hard Knocks fight is our main event of the evening. This fight is an amateur bout, title fight in the 205-pound division, and is brought to you by TSNM. And now, let's meet the fighters.
Coming down to us first in our main event of the evening, just in case one title fight wasn't enough for you, here's a second title fight in the light heavyweight class as Kevin Lagasse comes to us out of INC Kickboxing and Team Extreme in Medicine Hat, Alberta, looking to get the title and move to 5-1 in his amateur career in the 205-pound weight class as he takes on current Hard Knocks heavyweight champion Devon Smith.
Yeah, Devon Smith coming down to this weight, feels a little more natural in this weight class, and takes on Kevin Lagasse, who started kickboxing at age 17 and did that until he started adding MMA to his disciplines about 3 years ago. And he feels that the most important thing that he trained over the last little bit was his cardio to last all 5 rounds. But 5 rounds is something that Devon Smith, his opponent, hasn't seen all that often.
No, in the fights that we've seen here in the Hard Knocks cage with Devon Smith, it's only gotten to a second round once, and it's only gotten to a second minute twice. And so we'll see what Kevin Lagasse can do to keep that out. Lagasse, of course, a very solid chin, but a very short build. Lagasse coming up to 205, normally fights at 185, but figured if I've got a title shot, I'm going to make it worth my while. Coming up to the 205-pound weight class, really thinks of himself as an underdog going into this fight, knowing that Devon's the current heavyweight champ, knowing that Devon cut to 205 and he's coming up to 205, really says he expects to be the underdog here and is hoping to shock everyone and beat Devon Smith.
Well, just got back from Extreme Couture in Las Vegas and spent some time scouting Devon's fights. Has to watch out for Devon's heavy hands.
And his opponent.
So we meet now Devon Smith, the current Hard Knocks heavyweight champion, looking to add a second strap to his resume, coming in as light as we've ever seen him, weighed in at 203 pounds. Last night, brother Austin Smith behind him, and we saw Austin win his fight earlier tonight, showing off that heavyweight strap behind Devon's shoulder. As he comes down, says he's looking to stay standing, figures he's seen a weakness in Kevin's game that will leave him open to a knockout blow.
Well, and he gave us some information and confidence that we won't throw out there in case other people don't ever see it, but he's excited to fight at 205. He's got down, he's cut down his weight, he's a lot trimmer than we've seen him, and he continues to get to that point where he wants to fight at, he feels that he could even lose a little bit more, could even get a little bit trimmer, maybe even make it down to 185 at one point, and he is excited to have cornered his brother in this fight, and now, after cornering his brother to a win, concentrated on his fight for, he said, about 2 hours.
Yeah, it was interesting when I talked to him at the weigh-ins last night. He said, I'm more worried about Austin's fight than my own. I can't really focus on my fight until Austin's is over, and now that it is, he's ready to step in the cage. Says training against Austin, who outweighs him now by 60 pounds, helps him train for this fight. Now for the official introductions, here's Jay DeNance.
And now, the official Hard Knocks fighter introductions. In the Power Dodge blue corner, he's 3-1 as an amateur, 39 years old, and stands 5 feet, 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 205 pounds, fighting out of Team Extreme and INC Kickboxing from Brooks. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, Kevin the Honey Badger Lagasse. And in the Boston Pizza red corner, he's 5-1 as an amateur, 24 years old, and stands 6 feet, 3 inches tall. He weighed in at 203 pounds, fighting out of Prestige Worldwide from La Ronge. Please welcome Hard Knocks fighter, Devon, Mr. Boom Truck Smith. This bout will be contested under amateur rules. The referee in charge of the Hard Knocks action is Mr. Brett Hamlin.
We've covered all the rules in the back. Any questions from the blue corner? Any questions from the red corner? Let's have a good, clean, hard fight. I need you to listen for my commands and obey my commands at all times. Touch them up, let's make it official.
Well, here it is, the main event. Devon, Mr. Boom Truck Smith, taking on Kevin, the Honey Badger Legacy, for our 205-pound light heavyweight title. And they touch gloves in the center of the cage, and we are underway.
Devon Smith said he expects Kevin Legacy to try and take this fight to the ground to neutralize his that striking base. But wow, a big difference from the last time we saw Devon Smith. He looks really trim now.
Yeah, Devon a lot smaller than we've seen him, about 15 pounds lighter at the weigh-in last night than he's ever weighed in before. A nice sprawl there to defend the takedown against Legacy. He won the heavyweight title with a rear naked choke over Derek Daku. And every other fight we've seen him has been a pretty spectacular knockout from Devon Smith. Legacy here trying to force the issue and again trying to drive through the sprawl and get the takedown, but a very wide stance from Devon Smith, keeping Legacy at bay thus far, and now he can land punches up against the cage.
It's important not only to sprawl, but to give ground. You have to be able to create space and lengthen your opponent out, and that's what Devon Smith did very well. He continued to circle and back up, which kept extending Kevin Legacy, able to stop the leg attack.
And again, Prestige Worldwide is a fancy name for Devon's gym, which runs out of his garage at his house. Trains himself, trains with his brother and some other training partners, but really effective and throwing big punches down low against Kevin Legacy.
Yeah, and now he's going for a submission attempt here. Looks like an Americana, but coming through was Kevin Legacy. Now back in on those legs and looking to finish here. Now a better position as he's able to get his head and shoulders in.
But again, those long limbs of Devon Smith just sprawled out and broke the grip of Kevin Legacy behind his leg. Was able to just take it away, and now a choke attempt up against the cage for Devon Smith as he tries to choke out Kevin Legacy. An arm in choke, not likely to be successful from that angle, but a big knee coming in and just controlling his opponent is Devon Smith.
The good thing that Devon Smith is doing is he knows that Kevin Legacy has had problems with cardio in the past, so if you can tap him out, and he's got this guillotine on tight, you can see the amount of blood going to the head of Kevin Legacy, but no quit. But if you can take away some of the oxygen in Kevin Legacy, it's going to make it very hard in the later rounds, and this is a 5-round fight. Good on Kevin Legacy. Very tough there to stop that. His face was purple.
Yeah, just about choked out. And used the cage to kind of prop his feet back up and create some space in that choke. And ended up taking it away with just 10 seconds left in round one. Devon Smith laying punches. Referee's right on top of it. Just seconds left in round number one. Devon Smith gets the mount with just seconds left, but Kevin Legacy survives to see round two. His shoulder is hurt badly, Jeremy.
Yes, his shoulder is out of socket.
His shoulder is out of socket. This fight is going to be over. This fight is over. A dislocated shoulder for Kevin Legacy as it popped right out, Jeremy. It looked unnatural from this angle, and it was clearly over.
Yeah, it still looks unnatural. That shoulder went out. I don't know when that happened, whether it was a result of something that Devon Smith did or whether Kevin Legacy just had a freak accident. But, yeah, that shoulder is right out of place and very uncomfortable. As having suffered that injury myself, I know how it feels. But let's not look at light at the fact is now that Devon Smith is a champion in 2 different weight classes, champion at heavyweight, champion at light heavyweight, and a big victory for him as he was pretty dominant most of that round. And we just hope that the arm of Kevin Lagasse goes back into place, and it's one of those things that the muscles will start to put that back into place quite quickly for him. And again, very uncomfortable is Kevin Lagasse as you tried to get up to end that round, but that shoulder was out of place, and he's going to get some medical attention. We're looking at featureproductions.ca replay here of the end of the round, and I believe it was right here where that arm went out of socket. It's on the far side away from the camera at the end of the round, and hopefully we don't get to see that on the replay, and I appreciate that from our great staff here at Feature Fights who did not show us a replay of that arm out of socket. So you see in the corner one belt, you see CEO Ari Taub holding the other one, and as soon as we have the official decision, we are going to crown our our 2 different weight class champion. He's not a 2-time champion as he's never lost the belt, but great performance by Devon Smith, and as he continues to train and continues to get in better shape, he is going to eventually maybe even make his way down to 185, which would be a very, very dominant weight for him as he put on a great performance here tonight. It looks like we have our official decision. For that decision, we're going to throw it up to Jaden Nance, who's going to crown us a new champion.
And now, the official decision brought to you by TSNM. The winner by TKO due to injury, and still lightweight champion of Hard Knocks in the red corner, Devon Mr. Boom Truck Smith!
So Devon Smith gets a congratulations from Ari. He's with Ryan.
Well, 1 belt's not enough. You got to get dressed, right? The heavyweight championship, the lightweight champion, the light heavyweight championship. So 185 is next?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, this is a good weight class for me. I can go lower, I can go back up. I'm good.
You come out and an unfortunate injury to your opponent, dislocates his shoulder right at the end of the first round there. Not a nice injury to have to suffer either.
Yeah, I mean, it looked painful. I could tell when he was laying there. It looked popped out. Looked rough, so hopefully he's better soon.
Now you came out and you did some work up against the cage at the beginning of the fight. Seemed like he was really trying to get the takedown on you, but you were able to get your defense out.
Yeah, well, I think he and I both had obvious game plan. I want to keep it standing. I knew he wanted to get it down, so we worked on that a lot and paid off.
And I'm sure you got sponsors and coaches back at Prestige Worldwide to thank.
Of course, I want to thank Chasing the Dragon Rig Gear, always hooking me up. I want to thank JRMCC and Larange. I want to thank my cornerman and training partner, future heavyweight champ Austin Smith, my older brother Morgan, and my boxing coach Kyle. Thanks a lot, huge.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your new light heavyweight champion, Devon Smith.
A special thank you goes out to our host venue, the Spectra Place.